Hello, everyone. Welcome to the discussion. Quite spontaneous. But we are here to discuss the extra spontaneous book that we read for the book club. We set it up on Discord and everything, so it wasn't very official YouTube thing, but it was still going on in the background, and we read the book, and now we're going to discuss. So, how are you all doing, first of all? Have you managed to finish the book? How did that go? Because I know some of you were a little, I don't know, behind, I want to say. No, not behind, but like still reading it this weekend. So, have you finished it? Is my first question. And I don't really have any second question. Second question is, can you hear me and see me well? That's always important to check. Otherwise, yeah, I do not have the book with me anymore because that's why it was so super extra spontaneous, because I had it only for 2 weeks. And um sorry, for 2 weeks from the library, and I had to return it, so I do not have it anymore. And um so we're just gonna talk about, so I can't show you. But we are talking about The Blue Beautiful World by Karen Lord. And this book is kind of like a sci-fi, I want to say sci-fi speculative fiction. um my brain is not working today. And yeah, it is the third book in a series, even though supposedly it can be read as a standalone. And what it's about, it's sci-fi, and we follow a set of characters on Earth, when they learn that the or like learn about other worlds and other planets. And there might be like, I don't know, it's not really first contact kind of situation, but we have aliens, what we would call aliens. So it's a very interesting book. And yeah, I don't have any better description of it than that. But hello, Jess. Hello, Josephine. Hello, Natalie. Happy to see you here. Oh, I can see the text. Wait, I need to fix that. Um, how about now? I think now it's good. Can you apply? I don't know if you can see it. Now it should be green with white text. Anyway, um, I have to be honest, I have 22 pages left because my brain could not handle it anymore. Fair, totally fair. I honestly don't really remember how it ended. Do I? I kind of do, I think. But yeah. So somebody who finished it last night will have to remind me how it finished. So right now we are not doing spoilers just yet. We will get into spoilers a little bit later. Um in a couple minutes, and then I'll put up a banner saying spoilers, so anybody popping in will know that we are talking about spoilers. Sound and all is fine, thank you. Here and see you perfectly, thank you. Good, thank you for confirmation. Just here to hi. Hi, Alex. But I mean, you read it as well, so you can discuss with us if you feel like it. It's definitely not an easy one to describe. No, it's not. It's very strange to describe. I read 30 pages this morning, and then my head was just done with it. I tried everything. Yeah, no worries. It's totally understandable. It is not easy to read, even though I did manage to read it pretty fast, but it was not easy to read. So, absolutely understandable. I almost never remember the ending of a book. I have to look it up. Me too. I don't remember how it ended. So, Jess, you'll have to tell us. It kind of floated into a gentle landing, so I could see it being forgettable. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it did. Um, so, um, we picked this book specifically for like extra spontaneous book for the book club, because in the synopsis on the back of the book it says that the climate change devastated Earth, or is like kind of like affecting life of on Earth, and we follow a set of characters trying to figure out what to do, and that there is some alien civilization watching our civilization on Earth, and then potentially they might make contact, and we can meet. But so it kind of sounded like it could be related to climate, so it could be kind of a climate fiction as well. Unfortunately, didn't turn out to be climate fiction whatsoever. Right now, like, I know climate change and climate crisis was mentioned a couple times in the book. However, looking back at it now, I don't remember any climate related content in the book whatsoever. And so I'm still glad we read it for the book club. It was still fun to read, but it is not about climate. So, but you know, I like to go into books not really knowing what they are about. So I'm not too upset. But it's I didn't expect it to be like not about climate at all. But that's okay. I wrote my journal entry for it today and struggled with the description as well. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel better about that. But yeah, that doesn't help the discussion. I could not describe it really too. It had so many different components. So yes, yeah. Um, no, it wasn't climate fiction. There were some futuristic changes of the Earth due to climate change mentioned. Nothing more. Yes, exactly. So there was like rising water levels, I think, were mentioned, but otherwise nothing much at all. There were some things that I felt like were not quite explained fully. Wait, I need to change my position because if I sit like this for an hour, my bag is gonna kill me. Um, so you're gonna get a better view of the turtles. They still don't have names. If you want to give suggestions for the turtle names, shoot. Wait, we need to. There they are. Kind of creepy, but hey, should maybe closer so you can see me better. And then, as usual, they are here. They are here. You'll have to be happy with that. They are up there. Um, there. Um, but it's also a different story depending which perspective you are seeing it through. Yes, absolutely. There are, yes, different perspectives, and it was a very different story from both perspectives. Um, it it was different, but it like very much connected. But it was, I think that was very well done actually, how we had different perspectives on it. So that was good. Hi turtles. Yeah, they're right there. Turtles. They're not creepy. They are cutesy. Yeah, they're up there. I now can't see them, but I prefer my back not hurting than seeing turtles. Wasn't there a world mentioned with domes protecting them from an ice age? That's about as climatey as it gets. Yeah, but that was not Earth either. That was a different planet. And yeah, but it wasn't properly described either. It was exactly as you say. That was as far as it was mentioned. Like there is a dome and it's protecting from the ice. Even though there was some place on Earth that they also had to have a dome because otherwise it would be like burning hot or something like that, but like it wasn't anything significant. Yeah, they had some changes in society and technology due to climate change and like the seawalls in New York. Yes, the seawalls. I did not really understand that. I don't know if it was properly explained or if it's explained in previous books, But yes, right, there are seawalls in New York, and if there was some kind of like conflict or whatever, that maybe the seawalls would come falling down, and then New York would like flood, I guess. But I did not really understand what it was. It's just kind of like imagination of potentially what does the name of it suggest, really. Oh my god, they're always coming for us near in New York. Yeah, they are. Uh, yes, the idea of the walls was interesting. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But okay, I think we can uh, put a banner for spoilers and just go for that, because it's difficult to talk about it otherwise. The blue beautiful world, is that what it's called? World. Ne? World. There. I think that's what it's called anyway. But yeah. No, it was not explained, but they said when the aliens destroyed it, it would be flooded. Yes, I would also love to have something more about that. Sorry, I'm a bit sick, like, or well, running off of sickness, so just need to cosmetic adjustment. um, yeah, I would love it for it to be a bit more explained as well. Maybe she's writing more in the series. I don't know. I definitely want to go back and read the first two and then reread this one. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. Um, that I would like to read the first two. In the back of my book, I don't know if your books had it as well. Sorry, this cold is kicking in, especially when I talk a lot. Um, in the back of my book, there was like a list of places and list of characters, and there was like in this book there were these characters, and then in the second book there were these characters, in third book there were these characters. So only maybe like only a handful of characters from this book were actually in the previous books, but the worlds like were the same, or at least the planets were described more in the first two, it felt like. So it would be definitely more interesting to read this book with having that background to the world. So it would not exactly give background to the characters, because for example our is not main character, but we start with him with the Owen. He is not in the previous books at all, and that's what I felt like we should probably know who he is. And he's probably, or like he probably is in the previous books and we should know. But in the list of characters he was not in the previous books at all. And so yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to fix my hair. And yeah, so not all that much about the characters would be probably explained more than it was in this book, but definitely the world would be. No, it's okay. Definitely the world would be more explained, and that would be definitely interesting to learn more about that before going into this book. I look like Spring punched me in the face, so you look lovely too. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. No, I just I've had a bit of a like cold, like really sore throat for a couple days, and a little runny nose. Not too bad, but I'm still coming off of the sore throat today. It's still not 100%, but it's getting better, so it's okay. It was only a couple days too, so all good. But yeah, if my voice really starts to struggle, or if I need to wipe my nose a little bit, I apologize in advance. I think a lot of the stuff that happened with Owen toward the end would be more impactful if I had read the other books. Yes, definitely. Uh, Especially when he went to talk to his sister. That definitely would mean more because she was in previous books. Um, like all the stuff alluded to with his father. That's true. Yes. And how he picked the name Owen because it reminds him of his father's name. And so he doesn't make the same mistake. So, yeah, that would be definitely interesting to learn more about. I like to read the first one too. Some interesting characters would be explored there. And yes, more of the world building that I was missing a little in this one. Exactly. So, am I sensing another buddy read? Another reading challenge, but I don't know if I can get the book anywhere. But I would read the first two as well. It was very interesting. Feel better soon, you lovelies. Cold and allergies both suck. Yeah, thank you, Josephine. Um, I'm feeling better. I don't think if I'll go to office, probably not. But Wednesday is gonna be a long day in the office, so maybe I'll just take it slow in the beginning of the next week. But yeah. I think Owen was listed as Rafi in the other books, though, or Rafi Haneke. Could be, yes, but could be. I just don't remember. Could be. Because I didn't go through the list after I read the book, and I don't remember that. Like maybe he was just some side character in the first two books. Like he was probably mentioned, but not like he was not a main character. I don't think, but I don't know. Rafi Haneki. These names, yeah, crazy names. Yes, names were great. Haneki seems to be kind of a family or tribe name, right? Yeah, it felt more like a family name, like a royal name. I think it seemed like. Yes, and all the stuff at the beginning when he's worried about what he's doing would have made much would have made more sense in the beginning if we'd already known about his father. Yes, definitely, absolutely. I love the idea of family being who you claim as yours more than blood. Yep, yep, 100%. True, he was so scared of misusing his powers. I actually really like that part. Him being so aware and not wanting to be too powerful. Uh, yeah, and I also liked how his sister like supported him kind of in it. That yeah, if you start misusing your power, I'll kill you. And I was like, stop being drama queen, but thank you. So it was funny and it was really good. It was really well done. Found family is always the best. Yeah, that is my favorite trope for sure. Um, but yeah, so the beginning was quite confusing. Like, why did he want to buy that football club? I do not understand. I think it was very quickly explained, but I don't think I really grabbed it fully. Why he needed to buy a football club, or if it was really just like a cover up kind of situation that, oh, I'm just a rich boy, I'm buying a football club while actually working on other things and prioritizing, so they wouldn't actually dig around what he's doing and they would just focus on like the football club, or I don't know. I actually don't know. Um, so that was interesting, but I felt really sorry from the beginning for his assistant. What was her name? Something started with N. Um, she was very relatable because she was as lost as us from the beginning. She did know them, but she didn't know they were aliens. So at some point she was so confused, and I was like, "Me too, girl. Me too." Noriko, yes, thank you. Exactly, Noriko. Yeah, she was nice. I really liked her point of view to read from because that was very relatable. The first one is listed as Rafi Abouen de la Rua. Then the second one, it has the same name until he becomes Rafi de la Rua and then Rafi Haneki. Okay. Okay, yeah, then I don't remember that. Was it to recruit the coach lady or was that a different team? No, they did want to. Yeah, they were going to recruit the coach lady, but what did she do? What was she good for? Who was she? I don't know. I forgot about the club he bought, right? Like it was quite a big deal in the beginning. Like he's buying a football club and she's doing all these negotiations for him, and then it really felt like it came out to nothing. I think it was mentioned again, but it was not as big a deal as it seems from the start. So that was a little strange. Yes, loved her. Yeah. I wish we got to see more of Anne and Bernice. Yeah, I kind of didn't trust them after some point. Did I understand that right? That they actually kind of like rebelled against Owen after some point? That they wanted to, or not rebelled, but they wanted to do much more like violent and strict measures, and Owen was like, no, 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 or something like that. So I was a little skeptical towards them after that. But yeah, that would be definitely interesting. Who the hell would remember that? But at the end, she reflects on not knowing, being a bit angry, but also then thought that it might have been better to not know. Yeah, that was a great scene. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so, as much as we want to know things, we don't always have to know everything. Sometimes it's better not to know. Poor woman. I think it was just to recruit smart people and make connections to prepare for everything at the end. Ah, okay. But did we meet her? Do we know who she was? I don't know. Yes, Jess, Bernice, and Anne just disappeared after the time jump. Yep. Jess, I don't even know who that is. I mean, I guess they had important galactic things to do, but still. What? They turned evil? I don't remember. I don't think they turned evil. I just didn't Anne send Bernice off world for something. Yeah, I don't think they turned evil. I just think they like disagreed with Owen on how to proceed, and then they kind of started to take their own route. That's how I understood it anyway. Maybe I misunderstood. Honestly, I do not know. Um, so I meant Jess here in the chat. I think you do know. Uh-huh. Oh yes, Jess. All right. Bernice and Anne just disappeared after that. Huh. Sorry, I thought you meant yes. Jess, Bernice, and Anne just disappeared. My bad. My bad. They left the book at a point where we aren't really familiar with who were all allies. Yeah. Yes. So it was a little confusing at time. Hey, hi, hello. I'm Jess. Hi, welcome. Nice to meet you. The book lost me a bit after the time jump. I didn't get so many things anymore. Yeah, after the was it the 11-year time jump? Yeah, it kind of felt like first I thought it was kind of like back in time because when we jumped the 11 years, it kind of felt like the scene continued uh, from the where chapter 6 started because chapter 6 started really strange. Um, so it kind of felt like it continued, and then it was like 11 years later. Like, wait, what's going on? What's the timeline? Like that was a little confusing too. Um, but it was definitely a brainer. I see where you guys are coming from when you said that. Yeah, this is a big brain book. Um, there was a lot to keep track of, a lot to try to understand, lots of things in the background going on, lots of things connecting from previous timeline and everything. So yeah, it wasn't like popcorn read, just sit down and just chill. But yeah, yeah, I would be losing it if there were a character named Jess who I actually liked. Really. Also, not sure I understand what a Nexus is. Nexus is a laptop brand. No, a phone brand. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't remember. Was that even in a book? I don't remember at all. But yeah, I think it would be very useful to read the first two books, because I think I mentioned this on Discord, but I did feel that when we started the book, I was a little lost. I did not know what was going on. I didn't know the characters. I was like, I am enjoying the writing, but I don't know what's going on. But then when we switched to chapter six, and in chapter six, we were introduced to new characters. What was his name? Kai? No, I don't remember his name. But the guy from Malaysia, Philippines? I don't know. Um, when we started, like, were introduced to him, yeah, it was a complete Kanoa. Yes, thank you. Wasn't Kai, Kanoa. When we jumped there, it was a brand new character. So I was like, what, wait, what's happening? It's like starting a brand new book. But that's actually where I started to feel like I actually understand something, because it is a character we never met before. And so the introduction to the world and to the character was much better from the reader point of view. And I could understand so much better what was going on. And then from the beginning with Owen, when I never before met Owen, and I was supposed to have some background on him already. So yeah, I mean, I know what it is in Charmed, but I don't know about in the context of this book. The writing was amazing. Yes, I only know Nexus from Star Trek. I think it was kind of a space between realities or something. Ah, look at me remembering after closing the character list. Very nice. Good job. I read it, what, like 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember much. I mean, I remember what I liked about it and the story overall. I don't remember the characters. I really liked Bay and how she kind of pulled everyone together. Yeah, yes. Um, I actually really like that, how she was the brain of the group, even though everybody underestimated her because she's just rich girl coming from rich family. That maybe we shouldn't judge people just by how much money their family has. Like, yeah, it's definitely gonna influence how they behave, who they are, or it can, probably will, but it still can't just dismiss people just because their parents are rich. And yeah, I think I don't know if that was the message. I don't think so. But just today, when I see all over internet that all billionaires here, billionaires there, and like everybody hating on billionaires regardless of how they got rich, is a little annoying sometimes. And it's nice that in a book, when she was like super rich, she was still like very relevant character and like one of the best ones, honestly. So yes, I really liked her. Kana's perspective was the only one I got at that part. Yes, yep, exactly. That was the best one. Yeah, after things started moving along, I forgot everyone doubted her. She was super capable. Yes, exactly. Like she was the boss really of the group. Even though they obviously had a plan for Kanoa, but she was the one who guided everyone kind of towards getting better and improving and doing what they're supposed to. Um, there is that one guy who just disappeared. Dylan Derek. What was his name? He just disappeared after all the shebang went down, and we never heard about him again. So I wonder if next book will be focused on him and like his background and what he did after he left. Probably not, but he just disappeared. Um, and then speaking of, I do not really understand what happened in the end with Kanoa, and he was the person they needed to fix everything. So did they send him home to study more because he wasn't ready yet, and then he would do his job properly? Like, I don't know what happened there. I wonder if that would be the focus of the next book, if there is a next book. I don't know. That what's gonna happen on that front, because he was very meaningful, and then they just sent him home. So I don't know. Kind of was too spacey and distracted to do anything except from the sidelines. Yes, true, true. Dylan, was he the married one? I think so. Yeah, yeah. He's the only one who disappeared because the entire group then went to Amsterdam and he went back home to Canada. Um, he just disappeared. I really liked Peter. His enthusiasm with the VR stuff was awesome. So was the technology. Yeah, I was very amused by the girl from Iceland, Ilva. What was her name? Uh, she was just so obsessed with her games, and like everything that she talked about turned to the games, and that was so funny. I'm like, just focus on the task, girl. That was funny. But yeah, Peter was great. Reminded me a bit of a character from Red Rising. Ooh, yeah, could be, could be. I DNF that one. Don't leave the stream. Don't leave the stream. But yeah, could be, could be. Very tech savvy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yes, Dylan just disappeared, but I kind of like that they let him decide to not want to take a part in this. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not that I wanted them to force him or anything. I just found it like really interesting. He just bounced, just like I'm out, and they never talked about him again. So it's kind of like, okay, what's the point of your character then? If like just to screw up the group assignment, or like what was even the point then? He just bounced. Okay, bye. I guess the most disgraceful exit of a character ever, whose name currently escapes me. Yeah, it was mentioned in Amsterdam that Dylan published the game that Irza made. Ah, did he? Okay, right. The one they used to educate people, right, on what to do in situation they would get overtaken by aliens. There are so many layers to this book. Honestly, not everyone loves sci-fi like I do. I get it. It's not that it's like I like sci-fi, but I did not like Red Rising. It was no, whatever. That's a discussion for a different day. I fought. I fought through it. I get halfway. I posted on Instagram, should I continue or is it gonna get better? And everybody was like, if you're not enjoying it now, you're not gonna enjoy it later. It was like halfway through. Has this exciting thing happened? Like, what exciting thing? Like, where are you? So I said, where I was like, yeah, that was the exciting thing. I'm like, that's what wasn't exciting at all. Like, yeah, then DNF. This is not the book for you. Like, I really, really tried, but I just couldn't stand the book. I don't know. I really wanted to love it, but I just couldn't. I'm sorry. It makes a lot of sense that they were okay with him leaving, though. Like, if family are people you choose, I'd imagine the rest of life works the same way. Yeah, exactly. Even though he did have a lot of like secret information, so they still could have been very much worried about he can like expose them, or security issue or whatever. But yeah, they still let him go and just whatever. Maybe the point was to show us that no one is forced, but yes, true, he was mentioned later. I mean, that's a very shallow point if you ask me. Like, I understand, and I did think of that, like, is that the point? But that feels very alibistic point. Like, none of them were forced to continue. Only Kanoa was kind of forced to continue, and the rest they just chose. Like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go to Amsterdam, and they were not told that they have to go. They were actually warned against it, or warned like what could happen if they go. And so I feel like that's just very shallow reason, but I mean, whatever works. Yes, that's done exactly. And with such high stakes, you'd want to make sure everyone ended up where they wanted to be. If that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, like you can't have them betraying you, right? But he still had so much information. Yeah, Red Rising has a very specific tone, and if you don't click with it, just bail. Yeah, exactly. I did not like to now. I couldn't stand the main character. I couldn't stand the guy. I thought he was very arrogant and self-absorbed, and especially arrogant. But yeah, and it didn't help when they fixed him up at all. So yeah, not for me, unfortunately. Also, not an author I'd recommend for people who don't read much in the genre. Oh, the I donated the book. Uh, Piers Brown, is that his name? But yeah, yeah. So, should we discuss the ending? What happened in the end? Uh, if that's okay with Josephine. I know you, Josephine, have 22 pages left, so maybe we don't have to discuss it now. Maybe we can take it later on Discord. That's okay too. Uh, you say, Josephine, because otherwise I would like to know, Jess, if you remember what happened. Well, obviously you do. Um, that what actually happened, because I remember they sent him back home, and then what? Was he just like satisfied with where he was and the journey he was going to take, like learning more about the politics of it, and that was the end of the book, and like potentially continue in the next book, or like what the heck happened? Yes, remind us. It's okay, I will finish it tomorrow, but it's great to talk about it now. Okay. Yeah, what happened in the end? Waves arms vaguely at the universe. Maybe I understand it then better. Maybe. So Jess, please walk us through what happened in the end, because I don't know. I know he went to the sister, and no, that was Owen. Owen went to the sister to talk to her about it, and then he went back to Earth to that aunt of his, or whoever that was. But what happened with Kanoa? I don't know. Yes, exactly that motion. It's like I saw you. Um, but yeah, I don't remember the ending. It wasn't very like um to be absorbed into the universe. Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I thought should have been explored more, and it was such a, to me it felt like it was such a point that she could expand it so much more. And maybe again she will in the next book, but she didn't in this book, and I felt so disappointed. Was this thing when Kanwa's father died in the water, and he could see the sky go gray, and the ocean like tilt up or whatever, and that was the aliens in the sea, and how he could see it in his dreams and everything, and interact with the aliens in his dreams. I feel like that should have been like delved into, dissected so much more. Like that would have been so interesting to follow what the aliens actually are doing, how does this work, what it can do. Like I felt like that was so exciting when that happened. Terrifying, but so exciting. And nothing. Like, yeah, then he talked to them in the ocean. Was that the end? I don't think so. Was that the end? He talked to them. They talked through him to Owen, right? Was it Owen? And what else? He went to visit what's her face? Ah, serendipity. Yeah, and kind of dissolved. Did he dissolve? That was Owen. Wait, Owen went to the ocean, right? Owen turned into a ghost, but not Kanoa. Yes, the stuff with Kanoa's father was so cool. Yeah. Those ancient beings in the water, what are they? Since when are they there? Tell me more. Yes. Yeah, I think those are the aliens. I think they talked about them a lot actually. And those were some of the aliens that were occupying the ocean in peace. He appears to Bay on another planet after he goes into the ocean. But is it Kanoa or Owen? Yes, Owen. Yeah, that's Owen. Yes. So Owen turns into a ghost, kind of like a, yeah, universe being, let's call it. And what happened to Kanoa? Kanoa just talked with his dad in dreams because he wasn't ready to join the ocean people or whatever. So was it his fate that Kanoa would also turn into the ocean people, the universe beings like Owen, or that he would join the aliens in the water? Like what happened? Kanoa stayed home and decided not go get quarantined like others, so actually stayed on Earth rather than to explore other places. Right. I took it as like after Kanoa's father died, he became sort of an avatar for the ocean creatures. Yes. Yeah, that's what I understood as well. But is that all? Wasn't there some bigger picture for him? But Owen wasn't of Earth, so it worked differently for him because his influence was so much further reaching. Yes, farther reaching. Yeah, because Owen is alien, or well, we call it alien. Owen was from a different planet. He wasn't really human, so I guess that would work potentially differently from Kanoa. So many things in such a small book, really fascinating, but it feels like I have more questions than answers. The Pacific, with its mysteries deeply bound to his soul, was sufficient universe for him to explore. So he dedicated his life for this research, I guess. For the research of the aliens in the ocean. Okay. Or his intelligence merged with the ocean creatures. Papa Kanoa. Yeah. Yes. Same, Jess. They speak through the dead with the earth people, and the water things didn't want anything to do with the fight or whatever. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They didn't want to fight, they wanted peace. Yeah, the ocean creatures seemed more like intelligence gathering, reckon, than any desire to be soldiers or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They felt more kind of like watching over Earth rather than doing anything nefarious. Because they keep telling about collective intelligence. Yeah. Okay. Talking about collective intelligence. Yeah. Such a fascinating book, honestly. Yeah. Very fascinating book. So many things, like it would definitely do to reread it, and especially read the first two books and then read it, and to just try to grasp the entire concept, because it feels like there was lots of things going on that on a like a quick read like we did in that weekend might not be able to catch. Not that I'm super smart when it comes to literature subtones and stuff, but still, I feel like I would have a better chance of understanding it if I read the first two books again and then read, or first two books and then read these again. And because the ships were, I guess, comfortable in the ocean because they merge with their pilots the same way the ocean creatures can merge with humans. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that also wasn't properly explained. Or if it was, I just flew through it. I did not understand it. Like Neraldi and his ship. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Would we learn more about how the ocean people got there in the earlier books? Maybe. I read it in chunks of about 50 pages just to give myself more of a chance to absorb and think about things. Yeah, that's a good strategy. I did not do that. I did not do that. But that's a great strategy. But let's see. Blue. Let's see what they say about the previous books. So the first book is called The Best of All Possible Worlds. And the description is: a proud and reserved alien society finds its homeland destroyed in an unprovoked act of aggression, and the survivors have no choice but to reach out to the indigenous humanoids of their adopted world, to whom they are distantly related. They wish to preserve their cherished way of life, but come to discover that in order to preserve their culture, they may have to change it forever. Now, a man and a woman from these two clashing societies must work together to save this vanishing race and end up uncovering ancient mysteries with far reaching ramifications. As their mission hangs in the balance, this unlikely team, one cool and cerebral, the other fiery and impulsive, just may find in each other their own destinies and a force that transcends all. I imagine this is the book about how Tariq's parents met, or but yeah, so this is basically about why and how the people from Cygnus Beta from Owen's planet came to Earth, I imagine. And then we can read also book two description. The shapes, yes, that was so fascinating as well, like the mind connection and how not everyone could stand to be in their presence. Yeah, that was very fascinating. Oh wait, so maybe Owen had such a violent reaction because he wasn't ready on previous ocean visits. So what happens with him at the end is more like him letting go. Yeah, right. So he's different to the other aliens as well. A book in one of my favorite sci-fi series ever is called The Worst of All Possible Worlds, which makes me want to read this first book more. Ah, fun. Doesn't say that much. No, it doesn't say much. But I think it says about um, how and why the people from Owen's planet came to Earth. And then the second book is called The Galaxy Game. And here we have for years Rafi de la Rua, Owen, saw his family suffer under his father's unethical use of psionic power. Now the government has Rafi under close watch, but hating their crude attempts to analyze his brain, he escapes to the planet Punartam, where his abilities are the norm, not the exception. Punartam is also the center for his favorite sport, wall running, and thanks to his best friend, he has found a way to train with the elite. But Raffi soon realizes he's playing quite a different game, for the galaxy is changing, unrest is spreading, and the Genuvian cartels are plotting, making the stars a far more dangerous place to aim. There may yet be one solution, involving interstellar travel, galactic power, and the love of a beautiful game. Um, so yeah, that one is about Owen. So that probably would make the beginning of this one of the blue beautiful world much clearer. Um, I definitely prefer a synopsis that doesn't give much away. Yeah, me too. Me too. I don't like the synopsis like in The People in the Trees. You read the synopsis, and halfway through the book, you're still waiting for something new to happen because all of that was told in the synopsis, and I was so frustrated. So yeah, I do prefer also when synopses don't say that much, when they kind of just like loosely describe. Um, but yeah, the first one is about the Owens people finding Earth, I guess, or different planet, and I imagine Earth. And then the second one is about Owen and his father. So that would definitely explain more about Owen in this book. But um, the sun is coming, so it's gonna be very funny light soon. Um, should we go through the copile? I mean, I already rated it on copile, so it's not gonna be new. Maybe I'll change the rating. Who knows? But I have it rated. But we could go. Ooh, sorry, something. A window popped up and I didn't understand what it was. We could go through the copile system and see what we rated each of the things. It's already 1 hour in. Wow, we talk a lot. I talk a lot. Yeah. So, what would we rate the characters? Were they unique? Were they memorable? Were they well written? What does the cheat sheet say? Were the secondary characters distinguishable, important, additive to the story? Did you care about what happens to the characters? Were they flat, one dimensional? Do you have a good idea of their personality? Would it be easy to describe them to a friend? Um, with characters, I think it was a really good, even though obviously I can't remember the names, but I think the characters were very clear. There was that one confusion about Tariq being a he or a she, but yes, it was explained. So I was my bad for not paying attention or not, yeah, understanding and not paying attention because it was explained why Tariq was a he or a she. Um, and I think it was very good. I did not really get the grasp on the characters on the other planets all that much, but understandable since they were center of the previous books. So we already should have some kind of background into the story and into their characters. So with characters, I went. What did I give? 8. So that's pretty high. I think they were quite memorable. I did like them. I did, yeah, I think they were quite memorable. Um, I have it at 4 stars now, but it might be higher on reread when I have the proper background on everything. Yeah, could be, yes. I give it 4 stars too, and egregious could be higher if not read as a standalone. Yes, absolutely. It says in the back character list too that the twins use the same name on Earth. Yes, yeah, that it does. Yeah, that's what I found eventually. Like, why not just say that immediately? Yeah, it was in the character list. That's like where I went when I started to get confused about why starting a she, and then I went there and I'm like, they're twins and they use the same name. Okay, I see now. Even though it's strange to me, why do you use the same name? Wouldn't that be more suspicious? But whatever. Um, yes, characters were great, diverse, and with their own traits, even though there are so many. Yeah. Yeah. Look at us all liking a thing together. Hooray! Yeah, doesn't happen very often, does it? But yes, so characters were pretty good, we could say. So I give that 8, and I think that's fair. Next, atmosphere. And in atmosphere, we have how immersive was the read? Were you able to picture the setting, the characters, the creatures? Was the energy in the scenes palpable, or was it not very convincing? Um, Twins are weird on any planet. Yes. I finally got that with the twins on the last page I read. Oh yeah. Mm, yeah. That's what I thought. Like maybe it was explained in previous books why Tarek is a he or a she or something, or I don't know. And maybe it was, but it was also then mentioned in the character list. Even though maybe previously they were not on Earth, so we wouldn't have known that they would have used the same name. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We now know why they, or like why Tarek is a he or a she. So, but yeah, atmosphere. I actually gave it 8.5, but now looking back at it 2 weeks later, I think I need to knock it down a bit because I do not remember the atmosphere at all. The only thing I remember is really the feeling of, or like when I was reading the scene, Kanoa swimming with his father when the father dies, when he's taken by the um, aliens. Um, and then when that comes back and the descriptions and like that was great. Otherwise, atmosphere, I just could not grasp it a lot of the times. um so I don't think it was immersive enough, so I would knock it down from 8.5 actually. Atmosphere was so amazing in some parts, and I so didn't feel it in the other parts when all the politics happened. uh, so very torn on that one. Yeah, exactly. Like in some scenes it was amazing, and in some scenes it didn't click at all. I remember quite a lot of feelings. So for me, the atmosphere was great too. Okay, that's good. Good, good. I think I'm gonna knock it down for myself from 8.5 to like 7. I think that's fair. Because it was still good, but I don't think it was 8.5 at all. Um, So yeah. Next category we have is writing. Here, did you enjoy the writing style? Was the prose to your liking and unique? Was it hard to follow, not very readable? To all those questions, yes. How was the dialogue to narration ratio? Did it flow very easily and felt beautiful but effortless at the same time? Would you be keen on picking up another book from this author, even if it's a different genre? Sorry. Writing, I think writing was great. I think the problem is that it is a third in the series, so we are missing on some world building, but that makes sense because it's a third in the series. Some scenes were very confusing and like overly complicated. Sorry, my voice is leaving. But overall, I really enjoyed the writing. So I gave it. What did I give it? I gave it 7. I think that's fair. Um, because in some parts it was great, some parts a little less, but overall very enjoyable. Like I didn't have problem with it at all. Would definitely like to be confused by this author again, please and thank you. I love that. Oh, I love that. Again, very torn. It was beautiful. That's why I stick with it, even though it was so hard to follow in some parts. But yeah, exactly. I feel very similar. It was beautiful, but hard to follow sometimes. So again, it could be very helpful to read the first book in the series and see how that goes. If it's also still very confusing, or if, like, since it's first book, we get properly introduced to all the world building and all the characters as we should be, rather than assuming that we read the previous book or whatever. So yeah, rating I'll leave it 7. That's okay. Next up is plot. Plot. Was the pacing good? Were there any parts of the story where you thought things have dragged on and got a bit tedious? Was overall plot satisfying? Were the reveals worth the journey? Was this plot in any way unique from the other books you've read? Did it surprise you in any way? Has it left you wanting to know more? Was it too complex, too bland, or just right? This is very tricky because, in one way, it was absolutely fascinating and I couldn't stop reading. In a different way, I didn't understand what was going on a lot of the time, which would suggest that, well, that might not be necessarily a plot issue, that would be a writing issue. Um, but plot, I think it was very interesting. I think I imagined, like, even if I knew exactly what the book was, I would have still imagined something else. So it wasn't exactly like, it wasn't what I expected, but it was still very enjoyable. The ending felt very, not the ending, but when we went 11 years later, that felt very rushed. I did not get everything that was happening there. I felt like the book could have easily been 50 pages longer so we can get some things explained properly. Um, and yeah, I think that's what I would say to that. Um, I don't see any comments from you guys now, any new ones. So I hope you can see me and hear me well, and that it works and you are just not writing. It's okay that you're not writing. I'm just a little bit worried if I see no new comments. But yeah, so for plot, I gave 6. I think 6 is okay. Maybe I would 6.5. I really enjoyed the idea of it. Like, it was very creative. Maybe even 7, 7. Plot went up to 7. Is this not working? I guess the big jump was to make things more believable on a universal scale. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, like I didn't mind the time jump. Um like that was okay, but it felt like afterwards there we could have spent more time exploring what happened and what's going on because it felt a bit rushed. Maybe yes, but I agree that it came a bit sudden. Yeah. Interesting with the part where a bunch of political leaders had no memory of decisions they'd made for a few months or whatever it was. Them. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yes. Scary. Um, okay, next category. Three categories left. We have intrigue. And here, were you wishing you could be reading this book instead of doing whatever you were doing, or did it take some mental convincing to pick it back up? Were you intrigued to see where the story goes? What happens to the characters? How things will evolve? Did the story hold your attention throughout, or was it not consistent? And here I gave it 9, but I think I need to knock it down. I think I gave it 9 in the beginning because I read it so quickly, but I think I read it so quickly because it was the weekend challenge. And if it wasn't for the weekend challenge, I think it would have taken me quite a while to read it because it was quite easy to read when I picked it up, but I did not feel tempted to pick it back up when I was not currently reading it. So I think I need to knock it down, intrigue, from 8 to about maybe 7 or 7.25, I'm gonna say, because I was intrigued, but not enough. Not 7. Um, we are now dancing on the border of 3 stars. Wow. Talking about it makes me like it less. That's true. Um, Next category we have is logic. In logic, we have were the characters acting in accordance to their motives? Were they clear? Were you able to follow the rules of the world, magic system, if fantasy? Were those rules broken at any point? Did you have to stop at any point because things did not make sense or you found plot holes? I had to stop a lot of times because things didn't make sense, but it was because it was third in the series. Was the world building sufficient, overwhelming, or clear? Do you think the author has left too much unclear or overburdened you with unnecessary information? Did it feel like everything fit the story, setting, motives, background perfectly? Um, I gave it originally 6, but I think this is where I could lift it because talking about it makes me feel like it actually did make sense more than I thought in the beginning. Um, it was very what is it called, like fever kind of book, like what is it called, fever dream kind of book, very similar vibe to migrations, it felt like, um, where my brain is refusing to describe it, but yeah, it just feels so unrealistic and but beautiful at the same time. So I think, yeah, 7.5 logic now because I didn't understand it at first, but now when we are talking about it, things make a bit more sense. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel about this being a companion series. I think it would be better read in order. Yes, absolutely. For me, the logic was fascinating. The whole complex world with all the many characters was very well thought through. Yes, absolutely. All the different planets and characters and war and all the history. But who did actually say it was a companion series? Does it say that somewhere officially? Not on the book. Well, the book has in the back that like the entire universe and like these are the characters and places in the previous books. So, but otherwise it doesn't really say. On Goodreads, it does say that is like a companion series, companion series, companions, whatever. It like when you look at what it says on Goodreads, it says the series, but it doesn't say number. So it's almost as if it doesn't even matter in what order you read it. But I feel like it's really series. Well, I would have to read the first two to be for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I thought you did. Yeah, I think you did that. You were the first one who found it. Actually, that's true. But maybe you found it on Goodreads. I don't know. But yeah, that's funny. And then the last category is enjoyment. How much did you enjoy the book? And here I gave it 7.5, 7.5 points. And I think that's correct. I still think I did enjoy it. There were some things I did not because they were like it was third book in a series. I don't know how many times I said it this discussion, but it's true. It did have a big impact on the enjoyment of the book because I didn't read the previous books, and or at least I believe so. And yeah, I did enjoy it overall, but it was not like super highly enjoyable, but it was enjoyable. So 7.5, I think, is a good rating for enjoyment. And so overall, it has 7.29. Wow, that's my birthday. 4 stars. So 4 stars stay as expected. I think that's fair. It was very good book. And I will definitely be open to read the entire series actually. It might explore more. I might have because I heard it somewhere, but now thinking about it, I don't think the author was involved in this. I don't know. I did not hear it anywhere. So it's not really the author's or the book's fault. Well, you know, um, it is the same universe as the previous two books, and we'll only have to wait and read the first two books to see if it actually makes difference to this book to have read the first two books. Because if it does, then it definitely should be mentioned by the author or by the book, and it should be clear that you should read the two first books first. But that's okay. Rosie, hello, welcome. Just saying hi. Thank you for saying hi. 9, I don't know. I don't mind being confused. I don't like being confused because I don't trust myself. And if I'm confused, I feel like I'm dumb and I don't enjoy that. Rosie, hello. Hey, how are you doing? You can see my voice is crashing down, failing me soon. So we'll wrap it up soon, I think, because my voice can't take more than this. Hello, Rosie and Josephine. I just wish my brain was bigger sometimes. Yes, it was beautiful. I had some really fascinating. It had some really fascinating ideas. I wish I could have gotten more, but maybe you weren't even supposed to get more. Maybe we are simple people. Maybe this is for people who are literature smart, which I'm not. I just read for pleasure. I don't read for literature smart because I just don't understand. So I haven't read the book, but damn, it is so warm the past 2 days. Yeah, that's the first thing. Is not climate fiction at all. It has nothing to do with climate, actually, or well, very little. But yeah, warm past 2 days. Today is warm here as well. It's like 14 degrees. Yesterday was cold, or previous. Like this week was snowing a lot actually, and there is still snow outside. And boyfriend's game was cancelled because there was too much snow on the field and it was dangerous, and the field was frozen, so they had to cancel. Well, postpone the game. So crazy weather over here up in the north. Uh, but in other series, is that actually mentioned at the beginning or the back or something? I can't remember that being done like on cover or in front. Uh, Usually, that's a good question. That's a good question. Depends. Some books do have it. Some books will have like what book in a series. Some books, no. I'm thinking Becky Chambers. I don't think she has it, but those can be read as companion novels. They don't really are related to each other all that much. That series. Um, Dan Brown, also separate books. You can read them in different order. What do you have? I don't know other series that I've read. I did not read many series otherwise like that. I was an English major in college, so maybe I'm just more accustomed to confusion. Yeah, probably, probably. What I wanted to mention, my favorite quote from Noriko after she sent an invitation. Uh, Please say no. She pleaded silently as she sent the invitation. Duty done, she said aside her tablet. Time for one more cup of tea. Yes. Very relatable. Yes. Yes. I so often would do that. Yeah. I'll be like, yeah, I have to do this because I have to, but I don't want to. So, yeah, very relatable. Mouse is not working anymore. It was 25 yesterday. Horrible. Oh, well, it's not that warm here at all. We had an earthquake here, so I feel the earth hating us lately. Yep. Yep. Insane. I was melting too yesterday, Rosie. Oh my god, that's awful. Is it your first earthquake? How often do you have earthquakes? Because I don't think it's like never heard of in New York. It's just very uncommon, right? I don't know how often you have earthquakes. Like you would have one in 10 years or something, or I don't know. Yes, describes my whole life, really. Yeah, with like, please say no, please say no. Yeah, feel that a lot too. Yep, yep. Oh no, I never invite anyone, so I don't have that issue. Not often. Second one I can remember recently. I was in the shower both times. Weirdly. What? Oh my god, in the shower? That's insane. What do you do? Because what do you do in an earthquake? You're supposed to hide under a table or something, right? So what do you do when you're in the shower? Do you just go out without, like just towel around you and hide under the table, or like what do you do? I don't know. We are not trained in what to do during earthquake. Like we don't have earthquakes here yet. Um, but yeah, insane. But yeah, so 4-star book, the same as you guys said, 4 stars as well. I think it was very enjoyable book. It was confusing, but I did enjoy the sci-fi element. I did enjoy all the different layers and how it came like back and like interacted with the characters and the different places on the planet and different planets. I think it was very interesting. So I really enjoyed it. Um, I'm glad we had this discussion. It was nice to like refresh the book. Um, and yeah, I thought it was a big construction truck rumbling up the street. I was almost done anyway. So my mom's text when I got out and thought, oh, okay, so save by ignorance, save while ignorant. So you didn't have to stress too much about it. That's funny. But glad you're okay. I mean, it wasn't that big an earthquake. I think, from what I saw, it wasn't that big. I mean, it was pretty big, but it wasn't like huge. So thank you so much for the talk about it. I don't feel so stupid now anymore. You're welcome. Thank you for being here too. I love big idea, high concept sci-fi, but um, I like that this one was grounded with great characters too. Yes, definitely. Was the world blue? That's what I want to know. Yeah, it was actually. It was. I mean, it was more about planet Earth, and planet Earth is mostly blue. So yes, it was. It is the blue, beautiful world. Even though I didn't understand what it was with beautiful world, like it feels like it should be more about nature, and it wasn't at all. Um, but yeah, it almost feels as if the aliens that lived in the ocean were the key characters here. But who knows? I think it was 4.8, which isn't so bad. I think some cracks in roads, but no major damage. Just startled us all, really. Yeah, yeah. That's good. I felt one of the aftershocks though. Ooh, that's crazy. Was that like the same strength, or that was just like aftershock, just like a light shake? I don't know. Um, yeah, but uh, to wrap this up soon, the next book we're gonna be discussing, we already talked about this. I mean, we already mentioned this book in the previous discussion, but we're gonna be discussing Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. Um, this is the book for March and April, so last month and this month. But I did not manage to squeeze it in into sorry, into April. So I will try to read it like very end of April, beginning of May, and then have the discussion beginning of May, first or second week of May. That is the plan. And so this is the next book we are reading, and I'm really curious about it. I'm interested in that one. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, I have to continue this one now. Oh, you are reading it. What do you think of it? I ordered this one yesterday, also volume 2. Nice. I only got this one. And we'll see if I like it. Then I can get the second one in September. That cover is great. Butler seems to have a ton of hideous covers for whatever reason. Yeah, I really like this cover. I like this style, like because I've seen the other style that Octavia E. Butler books have, like the other covers, and those I don't like. But this one is so cute. I really like this cover. Um, so I agree. I absolutely agree. The same with Kindred. I prefer this edition. I don't know which one it is. Oh yeah, and here is what the second one looks like in this edition. Yeah, here. And that's how much I paid for it in Swedish. But it's okay. Um, yeah, that one is black. This one is black. Interesting. Yeah. What do we have? I'm at 25% and it's great. Hard hitting though. Please mind the trigger warnings about it. Good. Thank you for the warnings. Everybody says the warnings, so we'll definitely be mindful about that. I like those really loud, bright color ones. Yes, the same. The German cover is very different. Yeah, I mean, even the original cover is different. Ooh, no, not the trigger warnings. Yes, the trigger warnings. I think this one is very, very trigger warning full. I think most of her books have it on. Yes. Yep. Of trigger warnings, I mean. Yep. You guys can see the sun. Oh, on my hand you can see that it's. Wait, wait. No, you can't. Whatever. But the sun is coming. That's why the light is so off. I wrote them in the Discord channel for this book, Rosie. You can check them out there if you want to. I heard some whistling. I don't know what that was. But yeah, okay. I think that's it for this live discussion. Thank you for hanging out with me and discussing with me and just jumping into this, not into this one, into the other one, the Blue Beautiful World. It was very spontaneous. It came in at expense of other books that were supposed to be read, but I thought it was a lot of fun and it was very interesting book to read, and I'm very happy I got to read it with you, because if I read it on my own I probably wouldn't have understand half as much. So yeah, thank you for jumping on the train with me. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll talk about this one on the Discord. Don't forget there is a channel about this on Discord, so if you want to chat about it as you go through it on the Discord, you can. And otherwise, I will update you when the live show is gonna be, and we're gonna vote on it, of course, because we are too small a channel to not vote, I feel like. But yeah, beautiful sun. Yeah, it's pretty. Thanks for the talk, and Buddy Read was fun. Yeah, thank you for joining. Enjoy your day, everyone. Thank you for the buddy read and the chat, everyone. Glad we did this. Yes, the same. Have a great evening, you all, and thank you. That was great. Definitely a good book to discuss. Yeah, it was a great book to discuss. Honestly, it was one of the better ones to discuss. So, thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day or rest of the evening, and hope you have a great week or start to the week. And I'll talk to you on Tuesday on my sprints. Um, yeah, that's that. And so, thank you very much for being here. It was fun to read it, fun to discuss, and I'll talk to you either on Discord or on Tuesday. So, have a nice evening. Bye.